Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is Thursday, but we are pretending like it's Friday. I have court tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I will make it back in time for a show. And I've got a big surprise for my patrons tonight. We've got an extra special show tonight. We're going to have a live Zoom call with Satoshi Sean. He's going to teach a DeFi class, so you will be able to get live help tonight. If you're not already a patron of mine, you can check out the description and join. And there's also some other videos on there that you will want to check out and do that as well. So jump over there and check that out. You can also get your tickets to Team Mighty in the description and go to clintwestwood.net for all the good stuff. That's who's joining us today. So grab a drink. We'll be right back with Clint Westwood. Hi, everybody. I am Litecoin Lisa. You guys also know me as Lisa Mighty Davis, and that name came from my amazing daughter, Mighty Mia. We have a family foundation, and we honor her life every year. And this year, we are going to be having an event, the Team Mighty Freedom event, Freedom Celebration, and we are honoring a champion and a warrior this year. And Xweir and the Road to Ruta crew are our champions. And my dad, my pops, is our warrior this year. We're asking you to come join us in Oklahoma City. You can get your tickets if you go to team22.eventbrite.com, and you'll learn more there. So you guys join us in Oklahoma City. Come to my hometown and hear about freedom and the inspiring story of Mighty Mia. We'd love to see you. Hey, Westwood. Happy Thursday.
Howdy. Yes.
I had a little early day today.
Happy Thursday. Indeed.
Yeah, indeed. I kicked
Howdy,
off my
peeps
day.
in the
Howdy,
chat
peeps in the chat. Yes, thanks for waiting on me. I'm sorry. I had every other week we have a Veritasium DAO meeting, and there's just a lot going on over there, and it ran over. And so it was really important, and I couldn't shut the meeting down early. And so I host the meetings, and I just let them keep going because it was a lot going on. And so I apologize to everybody, keeping everybody waiting.
Hostess with the mostest.
It was worth it because I got to bring Westwood on today. Yeah. Johnny is out of town. He's busy working on some stuff. And there's just
Johnny's
a lot
been traveling
going on
a lot
right
lately.
now.
Why is Johnny traveling so much? He never used to travel so much, and then here I am. I don't want to travel anymore.
You don't want to travel anymore. You're traveling though.
So
You're
I'm traveling
to see
week.
me.
I'm coming to St. Louis Friday, and
That's right.
What is it? A week from tomorrow, and then your event's what? 2 weeks from tomorrow.
That's right.
So I'm still working on that one.
Stuff going on. What do you mean you're still working on that one?
I'm still working on trying to make it.
You better be making it. I got you a place to stay and everything.
Got it just for me?
Well, I already took care of the whole thing.
Okay, calm down. It's all good.
Yeah, don't tell me to calm down.
Everything's going to work out.
Don't tell me to calm down. That is the one thing that makes a woman crazy.
Relax.
Is if you tell a woman to calm down.
Relax, calm down.
That is the worst thing you can tell
I know, that's why I'm saying it. That's why I'm saying it.
When they get angry.
Perhaps blue ribbon.
Don't tell me to calm down.
Settle down now. Settle down. Simmer down.
I need to reach out to...
You need a drink. What you drinking?
I need to reach out to Tina, country girl Tina, too, and see if she's coming. Remember, she had said she was coming, but then I haven't heard from her lately. I know she's in our chat, in our group chat online.
That's going down really good. See, I haven't been drinking except for happy hours lately. I've been watching myself.
BS.
I swear I haven't had anything, and Mitch can attest when he gets over here. He's like, man, Westwood's boring.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Are you turning over a new leaf, or what's going on?
I don't
there?
know.
You're just not in the mood?
I just haven't been in the mood for alcohol, so it's kind of scary, huh?
Well, that's okay.
I know,
You're still fun without alcohol.
And that's what he said, Mitch.
Oh, hey, guess what? I found
Not really.
that I bought an extra set of those shot glasses that DGB created.
Need to get him to that meetup because he's in Oklahoma. We need to make sure.
He's in. Yeah, he's not in Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I thought he was in Kansas.
I thought he was in Kansas too, but I think it's close to Kansas. It's like northeast Oklahoma.
Oh,
so we need to make sure he knows about it because that's something he can hit.
So he's got family and it's hard for him to glasses and these wooden boxes that are custom, and mine is way up there now. So I bought a set for us, but it's all with my like stuff that's precious. But then I bought an extra set that I was gonna do for a giveaway on the show, but I'm gonna use it as a silent auction item for the event for Team Mighty. And so Mom picked this charity. I've got to show you guys. Hold on, I'm going to show you the spray. Let's see, let me pull up the, this is the serendipity of this is so cool. So my friend, Ed Polito, he's a Army, I can't remember his rank. He's a veteran. And he, hold on. He actually was one of the co-founders. He's actually involved in several different organizations that support veterans, but this one organization is one of the things that he supports and helped co-found. And anyway, he helped me figure out what starts with a B. Not a platoon.
Battalion?
Battalion, thank you, that my dad was in. So my dad was out of Oklahoma City, and he was in the Army, and he was in the battalion called Old Ironsides.
Ironsides.
Which was based in El Paso. And their symbol is so cool. It's a triangle with a tank on it and lightning. I've been seeing lightning everywhere. Lightning everywhere. And
Blitzen. Isn't that what lightning is in German? Blitzen.
I don't know.
Donner und Blitzen, thunder and lightning, the reindeer.
I didn't know that. I've been seeing lightning everywhere. So Ed's telling me about all these different things. I go look on Ed's site and all the different groups, veteran groups that Ed's group. So they do like a golf tournament with somebody Daly, this golfer guy.
John Daly.
I don't know.
Is that who it is? John Daly, big guy, likes to drink beer?
I don't know. Big blonde guy.
Probably smokes cigars.
I don't know. And they support a lot of these veterans groups. And so my mom, my earbuds. See, this is how many videos I've done today in meetings. My earbuds just totally keep dying. I've worn them both out completely. So I hope the audio is not terrible for you guys.
No, it sounds fine. That's why I got to go wired because,
Yeah, I'd lose them. Both completely dead today. So anyway, back to my story. Sorry. So then Mom's like, well, I don't want to support golfing. I'm like, Mom, it's not golfing. It's that's their fundraiser. And then she starts we start looking into what they do support. And Mom's like, oh, this one, well, this is really cool. And it's local. It's based in Oklahoma City. And we look into it. My dad was he loved to hunt. He hunted with all my brothers. That was like how they bonded as they went hunting and fishing and all this kind of outdoor stuff. And so I called this lady who they have, it's called Warriors. And remember, my dad is the Mighty Warrior. Team
Warrior.
Mighty.
Yep.
And so it's called Warriors for Freedom. And this year's theme is celebrating we're having a freedom celebration because of Bix and Amy being the champions, and it being a big freedom celebration with my dad being a vet and all that. So they are called Warriors for Freedom, and this is so cool. They take them hunting, fishing. It's to help. They do a suicide prevention at every like event they have, whether it's
988.
doing stuff with people like the general public, or they also have like once a year they do with active duty Army. They do a big picnic and I have them bring their families and all this. Then you're not going to believe this. So the family that started this, the reason they started it was the husband was a survivor of a suicide bomber from, I believe, Afghanistan. And she said when he came home that she couldn't even get him to go out of the house. He had PTSD so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And so his passion now that he's healing and working through all that is that he takes veterans hunting, but it's very private and really small groups of guys. And so they have a hard time funding that project, especially because most groups that want to fund that want like the pictures and they want like to go with them, or they want, all the glory with it. And we were like, no, we're giving you guys the money for the work that you're doing. We just want to honor my dad. And this is about, the work that you're doing and to honor these veterans and the things. So we're just the serendipity. So Warriors for Freedom, it gets better. So then she starts telling me, I start telling her about my dad, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And I said, yeah. And then I said, she's like, how did you hear about us? So I tell her about Ed Polito, and I said he was helping me with my dad, helping me figure out what battalion my dad was in, and he was in Old Ironsides. And she's like, oh, my husband is going to pick up my son. My son is 21 years old, and he's in Old Ironsides.
Cool.
And so he's going to come to the event.
Synchronicities.
In his uniform and present my mom with a flag.
Oh, wow.
In his Old Ironsides uniform.
That's pretty cool.
Isn't that the coolest thing?
The universe makes these connections, doesn't it?
Yes.
If we're, participating.
Cool. I'm just like, I just thought that was so cool.
That's really cool.
So I feel so good about this. I feel like this would make my dad so proud.
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. No, I like that. See, things just work out, right?
Yeah.
Just come together.
So
no coincidences.
Super excited about it.
Yeah. Very nice.
So I'm going to have her on to talk about the work that they're doing, and
August 6th, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Go to clintwestwood.net. Go to litecoinlisa.net. I always say it and I can't. Yeah. Litecoinlisa.net, and she's got a link, and you've got a link in the description too, don't you?
You have a link in the description. I also went to events, and I did this get ready to celebrate the greatest man I ever met at the Team Mighty 2022 Warrior Champion Celebration. Join us in my hometown of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, for a roaring good time. Stories of the past and dreams of a bright future forged by those who went before us. Vix Weir from Road to Ruta will be here to receive an award. Sing and inspire. Felisa from Patriot Party Rocks will share her experience meeting my Korean War vet father, Stephen D. Tomlinson, who is memorialized forever in the Library of Congress as a participant of the nationwide effort to light the lantern for freedom that inspired the Ted Nugent video. For the USA Trucker Convoy video. All are welcome for the military presentation and celebration of life and liberty. Click here for your tickets. And so then that takes you to the Eventbrite page where you can get your tickets. And you can go to my, then you can go to my Twitter page. And at the top of my Twitter page, you can join the Telegram group. Well, if it'll load. It does not want to load. Pinned on my pinned tweet, this is a Telegram group where
Charlie.
we have the crew in there.
Wrecking crew.
The wrecking crew in there. You can join that group. And we've got 21 subscribers. So people are already in there chatting about where they're staying, what they're going to be doing during the day, and, you know, for the weekend, all that. Because people are coming August 5th to go to the Bix Weir concert and meet up. And if you don't have your tickets for that already, make sure you go to Road to Ruta and get your tickets for that, and go to click on Freedom Roadshow and get your tickets for the Oklahoma Freedom Roadshow, and then do all these things. Be a part of all of this. This is going to be like the biggest bash weekend, and I think we're going to have a lot to celebrate by the beginning of August. There's a lot going on right now.
We got leaders stepping down around the world.
Yes.
For whatever reason, we got Knucklehead has the C word. Our governor of Illinois has the C word, even though they're like double pricked and double boosted. Still got it. Come on, man.
I'm gonna go give Daddy-O a
come on, man.
A wrench.
Give him a wrench.
Find a naked girl for you person just won't leave, and he keeps showing up every day.
That's right. Wrench him. Yeah. Whack him.
I did just block him, but somehow he keeps coming back. So probably
get a bunch of accounts.
And I'm going to jump over here.
You want me to keep talking? Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Thursday Happy Hour. No, seriously, go to litecoinlisa.net and check that out. She's got it all listed there. You can sign up. Get your ticket. I think there's a VIP party afterwards that you can go ahead and sign up for that too. All the donations go to charity. Friday night, like she said, roadtoruta.com. She's got it on the screen. Go sign up, get a ticket. I think it's $25 for the events. Bix is performing. Those are good times. Those are good shows. They really are. He draws a lot of people in. So you're going to have Friday night and then Saturday for the big event, all in Oklahoma City. A red state. Every county's red. Pretty cool. Not a bad spot. I was at that venue before, and it's a nice location. County's red, pretty cool. Red. I hear myself.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, Tom's on it. Good. Okay.
Tom's wrenching. Somebody needs a hammer. Bring the hammer. Thor, the hammer. Okay. No, but it's gonna be good. Good weekend. I'll be in St. Louis next Friday at one of Bix's events on the 30th. That's on next Saturday, I guess. Maybe it's next Saturday. I think it's Saturday.
It is. Well, I have it pulled up right beside you. It is.
I don't know.
It is on the 30th. So it's next Saturday because I will be in.
Okay, so it's Saturday.
Next Wednesday on the 27th.
Cool.
So.
Road shows intersect.
Yeah.
Road show powers activate. Form of a crypto meetup.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's good. You meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of like-minded people. I wouldn't have any friends right now if it weren't for crypto and meetups. You know.
I'm the same way.
I mean, seriously, I'm not joking.
No, I had this conversation on World Blockchain Roundtable today. I don't know if I had it on the show while we were live or if it was before or after, but I was telling them, I was like, so my daughter got married a few weeks ago, and we're having a little something at the house, and she was like, well, why don't you invite some of your friends too? And I was like, well, all my friends are magical internet friends, and they don't actually live here because the people that actually live here, like, don't really hang out with me anymore because I don't hold back on what I feel anymore because I'm tired of it. Yes, Daddy-O, there's a silent auction. And I make people uncomfortable, you know, and so they don't want to hear about it. Like we did have some friends over. We do have some friends still. That
got a few left
here, but we have a few, but very few. And I started talking about something, and the wife just turned around and walked away from me and started
just ignores it completely.
Across the pool, and she like just left me, and I was like, oh, apparently she doesn't like it when I talk about that.
Jeez. So how about that Major League Baseball?
Yeah, I was
How
like,
about that football? Yeah. No. Speaking of basketball, not speaking of basketball, sports though, I saw that. What's his name from
something about NASCAR, big announcement of NASCAR.
Was there? I don't know. There might have been. I was thinking of this NBA player. The Golden State Warriors won the championship, and this one dude said he regretted getting the prick and he had a great season this year, but he regrets doing it.
No,
And he actually came out and said, I wish I wouldn't have done it. I wish I would have respected, who I am and my beliefs. Family didn't get it, Yeah, and I mean, it's just like there's regret going around because they were bullied into it. You're not going to play. You can't do your job. If you don't do what we tell you to do.
No, it's very sad. We have some family members that are
my body, my choice, right?
Injured, and it's really sad. And I have some friends that are now, having to go to the hospital or see doctors and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm so sad.
It is. And, I guess my thing, I don't want to get into it and get y'all in trouble.
Yeah.
No, I won't say anything about it, but it's just, you think about the schedule, that kids go through in schools and, how many they have to get nonstop. I mean, what if the HPV thing, what if that didn't work? And I don't know if it does or not, but I mean, wouldn't people be up in arms? I mean, the chicken pox and all these other things. And it's like, you get this, so you don't get that. And now, and then you can get 4 of them and you still get it. Look at Biden. I mean, and look at our governor, JB Prickster. I mean, it's like, at what point do you just get kind of ticked off and say, wait a minute, I take this stuff, it doesn't even freaking work. I mean, so come on. And now we got the monkey stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
Trying to roll that out.
Polio was announced today in New York, I heard. Which you knew that was coming.
Yeah. There's going to be all kinds of things they're trying to scare you with. I mean, at some point you just say, forget it. I mean, walk down the street and get hit by a freaking truck. I almost got hit by a refrigerator door yesterday. We were out riding around, and I mean, I hear this boom, 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 boom going down the road. Yeah, and then somebody was hauling junk, and I heard something go, king, king, king. We were by the road, but behind the trees. So the part where the small trees are growing, I look over, and there's this scrapped refrigerator door in the freaking ditch. It had fallen out of the truck. And I'm thinking, if I had been out there, a dog was out there or something, would have gotten clobbered, man. This thing fell out of the freaking truck, so anything can happen, and it's just like, why are you worried about stuff like this?
But at the same time, if it was really your time, like I've been to your place, it's a big place.
Yeah.
You had been standing in that one spot.
I know.
And that freak accident thing had happened. I mean, I would not have been sad for you.
I know it's some Final Destination stuff. You see those movies where it's like, when it's your time to go, you can't really avoid it. It would have been, Sputnik falling out of the sky if it weren't that, something would have gotten me. So you can't avoid it.
Calling me right now.
You got to take it?
No, I can't.
Okay. I said, put him on. We'll give him some advice. Or her.
Her. No,
her.
She's badass. Yeah.
All right.
She made me cry a couple of years ago.
Well, women tend to do that. I've had those incidents before. That's for sure. Make me cry. No, good. Hopefully, you get some stuff resolved.
Why can't people do the right thing is my thing.
If they did the right thing, we wouldn't be having this conversation and have to, have crypto. Things would have been done right in the first place. But they don't. Humans always fail.
Truth protocol.
Exactly.
And we wouldn't need DAOs, and we wouldn't need
all these things to unwind all the things that all these people have messed up and all the greed that's been created because of unlimited money. I don't know.
Yeah, we had a great conversation today on World Blockchain Roundtable. It was my suggestion, so I've been dying for this. So you can go on World Blockchain Roundtable on Den Social. Den Social is like Facebook or, like a network like that, except that they don't steal your data and it's on a blockchain and you actually get rewarded for engaging in
Cool.
it. So it's really cool.
So it's like when you fix up your house and make it look nice, you get rewarded by a higher property tax bill.
No,
That's our current system.
no, it's
Yeah.
not.
Okay. So you actually get something of value when
No,
you do
you
something
actually
good.
get rewarded, and it's
Okay.
really cool. In fact, we should start a layer. A layer.
Oh, lair, like Dragon's Lair. Yeah, we talked about this.
On Dragon
LAIR.
Time. Yes.
Yes, yes.
We should start one. It's you can start one for free if you have enough community
Okay.
value or voting, and then you set up the rules of like, what do we want our community, what do we want the rules to be? Like, you can't overpost, or you can overpost, or you can like you set it up by behavior. You set the rules by behavior, and then it's literally like a DAO. It is a DAO structure. It's very cool, and you can set up how you're rewarded. You can set up. We should totally set up a layer.
A DAO is what? A decentralized autonomous organization? Isn't that what it stands for? Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
And then we could interact over there socially, and we would all be rewarded for it.
For hanging out and doing what we do already.
Yeah. And then we could we could even use that as like, hey, come to the happy hours and stuff, like our meetups. And we could say it's going to cost so many, I think it's called energy or lot or something.
Dragon eggs.
What the tokens are. Dragon eggs. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called. But and so people could earn them by engaging, by talking to us or watching our videos over there.
Yeah.
And then you come to the event and you would have the tokens because you watched the show.
And then maybe when you come to the event, you could maybe get a ticket in the drawing or something, or, a reward for showing up and spending some of the tokens and keeping the ecosystem going. I don't know. Really cool. Or maybe an admission ticket. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll talk to the guys about it. But anyway, we had this amazing talk today about using DAOs as city-states and how that structure, and really the community would be so much like safer. It was really cool. Like, we even got down to the part of like, well, you could, instead of like, you could almost remove money, to be honest, because you could go and instead of paying your taxes, well, you could go clean the street, because then you don't need to charge people taxes. Or I could teach at school, because then, well, we don't need to hire teachers and have government schools, because we have our parents teaching at the school, or we have teachers teaching at the school. You know what I mean? That's how
I agree.
That's how I choose to pay my taxes. Is I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a bus driver. I'm going to participate in my community in this way, or I've already served this many years being involved in my community this way or that way. I don't know. It's really cool.
So you enter a different status, a different, upper layer of status, to where, it's like the chief, the Indian chief, you sit back and smoke the peace pipe.
Some people don't
got the wisdom.
Yeah. Don't spend it with their energy or their volunteering, but they are capitalists, and they're like, you know what, that's your gift. You volunteer, or you serve in that way. But I am an artist or a builder, or I build houses. And so I'm going to then give capital or token to the DAO to pay the teachers.
Right.
So they can.
It's just a better form of governance is really what it is. I mean, because you look at our form of governance now, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to take care of things. That's why we pay for it. But it's very inefficient. I would fire it if it were working for me. Oh, wait, it's supposed to be working for me. How do I fire it? You know what I mean?
But there's all these middlemen right now.
Sure.
And there's lobbyists that really are paying people to. And there's the other thing is, we have all these representatives that supposedly are speaking for us. But the minute they leave us, they go up to DC and do whatever the hell they want.
They buy townhouses, and they get to go out on yachts and do all the fancy stuff and get fancy dinners and
Yeah. How
Everything
do we know?
gifted to them.
And that's what, like, was it the,
inside information on Intel, stock market.
right. Supposedly this person was represented, the Republican Party, but then once they get up there and they're voting on an issue and they're not voting what the people who put them in that position would have wanted, well, because it's just too complicated, is what I was told.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
we just had to keep it going. It's too complicated, and we had to keep that money going. And I was like, then burn it down. If it's broken and it goes against
exactly.
the Constitution, then burn it down.
It gets to that point where it's inefficient, it doesn't work anymore, then why are we going and using it? I mean, what purpose does it serve? Well, it does serve a purpose for some people. Think of a guy like Joe Manchin. I don't know him. But the thing is, every time there's a vote in the Senate, everybody's like, well, we got to get Joe Manchin's vote. I mean, how much is, how many deals are being made and how many things are going, you know what I mean? Just to get that one vote and all the sweetheart and goody things that get packed into it. I mean, it's just, everybody knows it's a big old scam. These people go there and they make good money. They do, but it's not millionaire money. But they come out and they're all millionaires, multi-millionaires. I mean, this whole Pelosi thing, we knew what was going on there.
I was going to pull that up. She got asked this week, or just today, Pelosi being asked if her husband ever insided or traded, and they said it was just like the Chappelle sketch. No. And then she walks off.
We don't talk. I would never tell him that we're going to vote on a chip deal. And so he invests in Intel or NVIDIA, whatever it is.
No. You can barely hear it, but he says, has your husband ever made a stock purchase over the course of these years? Has your husband ever made a stock purchase? Something? And she goes, no, and walks off.
It's just they're so aloof. I mean, you see this is like end of civilization stuff, end of government type things, collapse of empires, because they're so aloof. And it's like, of course not. As I go home to my gated mansion and get my ice cream out of my $5,000 refrigerator and my gourmet ice cream. I mean, come on.
It was probably a $20,000 refrigerator.
It probably was. Yeah, 5,000. I'm thinking for me, and I'm like $5,000 refrigerator. Of course, I did have one at one point because I paid a lot of theta for it, but not anymore. Theta's down.
Right. There's all kinds of good stuff.
Story to that.
TSA admits Biden administration has let nearly 1,000 illegal aliens use arrest warrants as ID to get on planes this year. That's their passport.
Can you get me one of these?
Coinbase manager and two other indicted in alleged 1.1 million crypto insider trading.
Just like that. Thank you. I got a bar back today. My daughter.
Oh, good.
Going to get me a beer out of the shed.
I guess the Ministry of Truth has been taken down.
Oh, the 1984 Ministry of Truth, huh?
Yeah, that was a positive thing.
Yeah, exactly, Daddy-O. Has your husband ever been drunk up and wrecked his car? I mean, this guy was smoked driving around, Pelosi's husband. And I mean, it's just like they live by different rules. What's going to happen to him? Nothing. He's going to get stock options, and his $5 million investment will turn into like 15, and nothing to see here.
Yeah. This was pretty insane to me. The SEC supposedly, and I asked Reggie about this today, is going to waive some security laws for digital asset firms to encourage compliance.
Okay.
And Reggie's like, it's a trap. He said
he's been trapped by the SEC.
Yes. He said when they do that, he said we had our books open. We were trying to work with them. And he said XRP was doing the same exact thing.
And where's that at? Locked up in limbo.
And he said that now earlier today, they did have, where is it? Where is it? Library was saying like that they had a win.
Like Library, the coin?
Yeah.
Okay, the crypto, LBRY.
Yeah, where is it?
They've been around for a while.
Yeah, Silvertooth was on last night. There's my library post. Maybe it was last night. I thought it was this morning. I posted it. I shared it.
Got a Punch Classico cigar right now. Punch. Need a cigar sponsor.
Why am I missing this?
Pretty good. All right, I'm gonna check the chat.
Yeah, check the chat. I'm the huge audit on Oklahoma educational spending. They have misspent tons of money. We have a great state auditor. She has been going through city by city and checking everything. They've finally gone through the education and found tons of bad stuff. So I'm glad that's being outed. They're saying that Hunter's stuff is reached critical mass.
I saw that. I didn't read that article. I saw that headline.
Yeah, tax affairs have reached a critical stage, and foreign lobbying violations and more. Federal investigations since 2018. Let's see. That the federal grand jury looking into Hunter's dealings, let's see, wrapped up its term late last month. No charges have been filed yet. Someone's surprised about that. But Hunter requested keys for new office mates for Joe Biden, Chinese emissary to CEFC.
I saw NPR had something out today.
Back in October, Hunter Biden.
Is that the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm not playing it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I saw NPR today, which is a very left-leaning, organization, news reporting agency, National Public Radio, I think it is. And they came out today questioning, where's all this money going in Ukraine? With the corruption that's gone there in Ukraine, is this wise to be giving them a bunch of money? And actually questioning the administration, which is kind of a big deal. That's like, I don't even know how to explain it. That's like you go to, I can't even think of the Republican convention, the one that's real conservative, the meeting. But it's like, the Rush Limbaugh questioning Trump. It's like, wow, okay. It's a big deal. So it's starting to leak out. People are starting to wake up. People are, the news agencies are starting to report stuff because, I don't care if you're the most die-hard Democrat at this point, you got to look at this whole administration and think, oh my God, what did we do? Because everything that can be done wrong, every misstep, every landmine has been stepped on. Absolutely ridiculous to this point. Nothing has been done right. Nothing.
Or send somebody like ship. I challenge Benny Thompson today to have the courage to come to this courthouse. If he's going to charge somebody with a crime, he's going to be man enough to show up here or send somebody like Shifty Schiff or Fang Fang Swalwell. Or send Liz Cheney, send somebody in the committee that has the guts to come here and accuse somebody of a crime. It is outrageous. And for them to sit there and try to get a complete hearing and they won't bring in any testimony about FBI involvement, any testimony about DHS involvement, any testimony about any other involvement, and what's driving this. The total and complete illegitimacy of Joe Biden. Trump won. Joe Biden's illegitimate. 50% of the American people believe that today, and they believe that not from hearing from mainstream media, from our great colleagues in the media, because they won't show any of it. That information has been suppressed from day one, but almost 50% of the American people believe it. You can't govern this country if you're not looking as legitimate. This is why no head of state in the world treats him with any respect. This is why the Chinese Communist Party treats him with no respect. This is why the Saudis embarrass him and humiliate him while he's over with the fist bump. You don't do that to a legitimate president of the United States. We have a constitutional crisis in this nation right now, and they're charging me with a crime. Have the guts and the courage the guts and the courage to show up here and say exactly why it's a crime. Benny Thompson is a total, absolute disgrace, and this show trial they're running, it's disgrace. And I will promise you one thing. When the Republicans have a sweeping victory on November 8th, starting in January, you're going to get a real committee. You're going to get a real committee with a ranking member who will be a Democrat. You will have a minority council that will be a Democrat. And this will be run appropriately, and the American people will get the full story. I got to tell you, I'm totally so ashamed of the Congress today for sending staffers over here to try to sell their case. They should be here, the senior people in the committee.
Interesting that he says they will be a Democrat. I did just hear from Ninja that there are trucker convoys starting in California.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
On that note, I think Paulie's in here. I'm going to grab my chair. I had to readjust because of the sun. I'm going to grab the chair and pull it back here. So I'm going to pull this out. But I'm curious if Paulie's got some, continue with that and see if Paulie's got some info on that.
Ollie might have something for us. Let's see. Where did it go? And I don't see it. Ollie, you have some news for us? Polity.
Right now, inflation is about to take over.
Breaker 19, we got a
Did they?
convoy.
Here it is. The Port of Oakland is
This
actually.
man's life is a constant struggle.
Port of Oakland is now shut down from truckers.
Here, I hope you're doing well. I've got a story about the Port of Oakland and the truckers that are protesting right now, and it sounds like effectively shutting down the port. So I want to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about the implications, and I'm also going to explain AB 5 and how this is going to affect the entire country, not just California truckers, okay? If you're a trucker and you agree with what I have to say, please get this video out, share it on any and all social media we can, because we need to wake people up, not only on trucker forums and things like that, but I think it's very important that people understand what state governments, and I know California is crazy, they went from 0 to moronic in 5.3 seconds. But the sad thing is we've seen this before, where California starts something, or New York starts something, and then other states start to follow. So I want people to understand how very serious this is. So no matter where you are in the country, or for that matter in the world, if you think this is serious, please share this video. Thank you. All right, trucker protests shut down operations at Port of Oakland. Truckers protesting a state labor law that has effectively shut down operations at the Port of Oakland, and they plan to be out there again picking lines for a fourth day on Thursday, which is today. Enough is enough. AB trucking owner Bill Abadoui, if I got that name right, sorry, said on Wednesday, on the first day, the port downplayed the protesters' effect on the port and that it did not send the message out to the politicians. That's who we're trying to reach out and tell them this law is fair. Then the port driver, Randeep Dillon, said, we've all been out here for 3 days nonstop from early mornings to late night. You know we're trying to stop the port's operations so that we can get our point across to cancel AB 5. We're gonna be out here until Sacramento gives us an answer about this law. All right, guys, I'm going to link it below. Now, this is what's very important. I'm gonna explain this in very generic, easy terms. AB 5 is a law that would stop, and it's already in place, right? It stops the ability for a man or woman to own or lease a truck and become their own business, a subcontractor to a larger shipping company. What is so vitally important here is, first off, this law would stop around 70,000 truckers from being able to choose the freedom of owning their own business, right? Being incorporated, being able to choose what kind of insurance they pick for health insurance, vehicle insurance, being able to have legal write-offs of things that they would do normally throughout the day, but now because they have their own business, not only would they not be entitled to those write-offs, they also would not be entitled to picking their own hours, having the confidence of owning a company, a business. That is the American dream. And California is trying to stop it right now. And I cannot explain my disdain well enough for how I feel about this. Now, how is it going to affect the rest of the country? Well, first off, California, the government is hiding things from you. They're trying to put it out like this is a good thing. There's so many people that don't have rights to, the basic necessities, one of which being health insurance. And we want to get you that. So we're going to force these companies to hire you as employees. So now, great. They've got a life insurance or health insurance that they probably don't want, and they could probably get cheaper. And now they don't have the ability to make their own decisions in life, have legal write-offs, and be able to make their way in this world and achieve the American dream. This is disgusting. Well, first off, California, whether you like it or not, they control the largest port in the country, and that is down there in Long Beach. And even though the truckers are protesting starting in Oakland, which is understandable because it's that much closer to the state capital, I believe this could get larger because, like I said, I believe it's to 70,000. And hopefully truckers right now are sharing this video to get the message out how big of a deal this is. We've already seen California screw the entire country over, quite frankly, when they made that law that you're only allowed to use trucks that are now outfitted with all this green crap, the depth sensors and all that stuff, to be able to ship things throughout the state, which now made a roadblock, a chink in the chain. The supply chain was broken. And during the time when the country was shut down and they opened back up and all those ships came in from China to offload, oh, sorry, there's only so many trucks now allowed to offload, to take the goods across the border to Arizona or Nevada. You see where this is going? Because we all remember the supply chain, Charles. As a matter of fact, they still haven't healed. The break in that link is still there. And now California wants to add another one. Guys, I'm telling you right now, if this wasn't a conspiracy to control the supply chain or literally destroy it and bring the country down to its knees, especially its economy, I don't know what is. I can't be more serious about this. People need to wake up. That's why sharing information out there is so vitally crucial. Like he said in this article, hey, the port didn't push out. We effectively slowed this thing down or stopped its operations, and they didn't show it to the state. Well, let's let the nation speak for itself now. Let's let because that I'm going to be honest with you. Let's call truth. That moron Gavin Newsom now wants to run for president. How about the rest of the country share videos like this out so it goes viral, so that they go, hey Gavin, guess what? We don't want you as our president because you're such a moron in California. Why don't you just stay there? I'm going to be honest with you, guys. This is how economies collapse because of bad policies all throughout economic history. It was bad monetary policies and poorly written laws that didn't put into account the true protection of people, getting people their benefits. That doesn't help. California, I just want to explain too, a little while ago, years ago, destroyed a lot of employees in this state because what they did is they said, okay, if you're working, I don't remember the hours off the top of my head. I have no notepad with me, but I want to say it was like 30 hours, you're now considered full-time instead of 40. And since you're now full-time at 30 hours, the employers are required to pay this, and these expenses. Well, what did employers do? Cool. You're now not getting 30 hours. You're getting like 29 or 21 or something like that, right? So now you have multiple underemployed people. And the companies just picked up, for every 3 people they cut their hours, they pick up an extra 2 to make up that slack. And again, those people wouldn't be full-time. So California has effectively destroyed the employment situation here in California. I don't want them to destroy the employment situation in the rest of the country. So what do? You share videos like this. You get them out there. You put them on blast. So you're showing your state representatives that we ain't gonna deal with this crap. This is insanity. And I think people need to be telling the truth and speaking up. So I thank you so much for watching this, because and that's why I did that course on side hustle, because I think it's so important that people get a side hustle going, then slowly transitioning to a business, and then slowly transition into a corporation, so that not only can you achieve the American dream, but you can get those tax write-offs. You can have your own say. We need people with confidence in this world to own businesses. Owning a business, you can either fall on your face or you can succeed. And guarantee you're going to fall on your face 9 times before you succeed. That's just part of life.
Okay. So interesting. I sent Paulie P a link to join us if he wants to. Because he's in the chat saying 70,000 trucks is no big deal. It's not going to affect him one bit. It's not shit. Only in California. That is not, serious at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's a bigger picture, the port thing, I don't know. How many times have we seen?
I would think.
think about, we've seen predictions of this, a lot of people talking about this, how the United States would go into different regions. This kind of falls into the DAO theory, to where you can kind of control your own destiny. And that's why we had a war between the states, because the states' rights, the national government wanted to exert its rights over the states. And then you see some of the decisions coming from the Supreme Court now devolving back to the states, and saying, hey, you guys make the decisions. And I think this painful process that we're going through is exactly that, to where the states are asserting their rights, their authority, whatever you want to call it. And because we really don't have any leadership at the national level. So you're seeing this push towards centralization that didn't work out of DC. And now you're trying to see certain states centralized, and you're seeing other states trying to decentralize. I mean, at what point do we have regions of states like the whole, left coast? You got Oregon, Washington, California kind of banding together, and then you might have southern states band together in their own kind of confederacy, so to speak, to play on history. I mean, you're kind of seeing that, to where what's the national government going to do at this point? The Supreme Court's basically saying it's up to the states to make the decisions on a lot of this stuff that the national government was trying to make. Okay, so if that's happening, who's going to come in like they did in the Civil War, the war between the states? I mean, who's going to come in and enforce it at the state level? Can't do that nowadays. I mean, you're not going to have, it can't happen. So I don't know. It's an interesting time right now. And it's really an educational period, to where we got to wake up and decide where we want to be and how we want to live. And with technology, with these DAOs, with being more active, and I don't know, I see the old way we do things kind of falling away, and maybe we do kind of end up in this decentralized technical, because I've always seen this to where it's almost like a steampunk world. And if you know what steampunk is, it's like you take old things, but you like make them new again, but you're still kind of, in the past, but in the future. And I just get that feeling that that's kind of where we're at. We look at the things that are kind of still working, use those, and with the high tech stuff that's coming. And in this case, it's crypto, it's decentralized blockchains that can, make those decisions more efficiently for us, whether it be money, whether it be governance, whatever it is. I don't know. It's an interesting time to be alive. It's a perfect time to be here. I think we all chose to come back at this time for this reason, because it's going to be very historical, and people are going to look back and say, wow, that's when it all started to kind of change, and you were in that transition.
Yeah, I think
rambling a little bit.
No, I think we're definitely here at this time.
Because we can't go back to the whole, you got Newsom running for president. You're going to have Pritzker running for president. These old guard, like Democratic, machine type heads that want to lead the machine. And it's like, no, nobody wants that crap anymore. Nobody wants to participate in that system and choose leaders. And, well, you paid your dues and earned your stripes. You followed orders. You're getting promoted to president. And, just like Biden. And it's like, you see how that ends up. There's no innovation. It's just protecting the old system. It's protecting that machine. And that machine's falling apart. It's sparking, it's not working. And it's just not, it doesn't have the power and the juice.
I will say that the things, the noisy thing, even this little naked noisy thing in the chat, people are just stopping paying attention to it. They're just, somebody, I can't remember.
Like a vampire. Don't give it power and it goes away.
Yeah, they said that something spun up the other day and was telling everybody, it puts the lotion on or it gets the hose, that kind of droning thing. And that that rule spun up again or whatever. And that they went to something and they were like, yeah, that was a rule, but nobody's listening.
Right.
Everybody's just like, oh, shut up. Like
right.
we're all over. We've all moved on.
It's like the whole, the ritual of
boy who
covering
cried
your face.
wolf.
It's like, we're tired of it.
Yeah, the boy who cried wolf, and everyone is just over it.
It doesn't work. I mean, you tried it. You tried to scare us into it. We see the truth now. Okay, whatever. We got our own issues. We just want to lead our lives, and we can do that and be left alone. And come on. We don't need Big Brother to take care of us.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
I
it comes
guess
down to.
that is the lesson that people are finally learning.
Yeah.
So
And see, they used to get people to go along because they'd give them goodies. It's like, oh, here, here's a check, and you can do this. But I mean, you think about it. If you're bribing people nowadays, that bribe doesn't go as far. I think Cliff talked about this at some point. The bribes are like, well, you're not giving me enough cash. It's inflating faster than you can give it to me. Why am I going to keep bidding your garbage and doing your deeds anymore? Because it's just, you're not making the risk that I take, for people waking up with pitchforks. It's not worth it anymore. So you can't pay me enough. And if you pay me more, that $1 million isn't $1 million anymore. I can't get the things I need to kind of keep myself safe and, insulated from the blowback. And so I think you're just seeing that. You're seeing it all fall apart. It's just the money's dying is really what it comes down to. The money's dying, and everything that it's supported, all that corruption over the years, it's falling apart, and you're watching it right in front of your face. You're watching that movie.
Well, and you're watching the 3-letter agencies not take action or have any strength behind them either.
Right. You don't see the military going all over the place like they used to anymore. You don't see, these agencies infiltrating all these things anymore. You're watching it just kind of fall apart because it was all funded by that money.
No one's getting held accountable for anything.
Yeah.
The one that charges you things, once a year keeps throwing people's papers away, and and there's new stories about that all the time coming out about they threw another 1 million people's returns away, and and I'm like, what?
Like, does it even matter anymore then?
Yeah,
because you guys just have no respect for what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
No, it's just,
I think everybody's just over it.
Pull the plug on it. Quit funding it. Quit giving it your energy. Walk away from it. Do the best you can. As far as it's easy to say, but I mean, you just gotta, if you haven't been awakened by now, it's like, you really need to start waking up, because there's just so many things that are happening that are not in your best interest, and you think it's going to get any better. I mean, with with the system that's in place.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's why I'm like, hey, crypto's a good answer to that stuff.
Yeah. One thing I'm starting to see, so I'm never on Facebook, but I went on Facebook to help promote Team Mighty's event, to get some, especially local, because I used to be really active on Facebook. That was, go in seasons, I guess. And I was really active on Facebook, and that's where more like my local friends and family are.
Right.
And so I thought, oh, well, I'll get people that are, local, connected with me here to come to the event. And I thought it would be a great way for people that don't really know about crypto to come and meet a bunch of my crypto friends. We could help people even download wallets at the event, and we could give away. I know Dave is giving away ownership in a lair and a firearms lair. Greg's giving away an NFT that one of his it's like an old ape NFT. So there's some crypto that's being given away at the event as well. So I thought, well, we could even, there'll be that kind of stuff going on, as well as at Bix's event. He'll be talking about crypto as well, and freedom and silver and all kinds of stuff. And so I thought, well, some of my local people can come and learn about some of that stuff too. And so I thought, well, I'll get on Facebook. And so I created an event and was sharing. And
probably get a bunch of bad feedback, everything.
No, it was positive.
No?
I was really,
well, good.
Really supported. And and one of my brothers from Texas is coming, and my nephew got on the show the other day and was chatting in the live chat, and so I'm kind of excited about that. Some of my family's coming up from Texas, and but I saw a couple realtors, actually more than one, are starting to tell these sad stories of already, like, the housing market has tipped that thing where they're seeing people that had their house was like, they had either remortgaged because their house property, it had gone up because the housing market had gone up. So they refied and took the money out of it, thinking, oh, my house is worth so much.
Yeah, now it's not.
But now the value has gone down, so the bank has called the loan, or
because you're underwater on it,
because now it's upside down or whatever, or you had to pay. One story was Well, now they had to come up with like PMI or something,
Mhm.
or they had
Right,
to
you got to pay that
insurance.
insurance because now you don't have that little cushion anymore.
Yeah, so there were all these. There were multiple stories where, like, because their house value had fallen, like one person had to sell their house, another person had to come up with had to start their house payment had to gone up because now they had to pay PMI where they didn't before because their house value was up high. Another one was like, oh gosh, I can't even remember what something about keeping up with the Joneses and blah blah. Like there were just multiple stories about, and I'm like, I mean, I wasn't even on that long, and there were multiple stories about these house prices falling. So it's just we are right there. We are 2008 again.
Yep, and that's Great Depression stuff. I mean, you know, you had the Roaring '20s where you had the Fed, which did exist then. They just allow all this money to be created. All these banks are giving out all these loans, and that's why it's the Roaring '20s. Everybody's throwing money here and there, and next thing you know, they pull the plug, and they make credit not so easy. They don't allow you to have access to the money anymore, and so when they dry up that pool of money, you still got all that debt to pay. Well, where am I going to get this money? Well, people are losing jobs because there's not enough money in the system anymore, not enough liquidity in the system anymore, because it's all centrally planned. And then the next thing you know, well, we got to foreclose on that farm that you just, you know, took a loan out on. Well, you know, either put up the collateral of your other farm, you know, whatever. They put up the collateral of their existing paid off land for new land, thinking, oh man, I'll just get more land. How can I go wrong? Next thing you know, you got all the banks owning all the land. Next thing you know, now you got banks owning all the houses again. I mean, that's what they want. They want your tangible assets. And they use that fake money, inflate, deflate the economy with the money and control it, make it easy, and then make it hard to get, and then they take it all back.
There was just a huge bail-in in China, and the people were storming the banks after days after they found out that China explained to them, no, we were in default because of Evergrande, and so we took your assets to make us whole. And the people went nuts, and they had to put tanks in front of the banks to protect the banks.
Tanks and banks, baby.
You don't think that's happening here?
Yeah, exactly.
The Americans will freak out.
Absolutely.
They will.
We're armed.
They will be livid. But you signed that little contract when you opened your bank account. And it is their money now.
You gave them, you traded your work for casino chips.
Yeah.
And that casino says, guess what? You know, we're going to redeem it for this if we even redeem it, or guess what? We don't have to cash it out. You're playing in the vampire casino when you put your money in there. And it's gone. I mean, basically, it's gone. If you've got it sitting in the bank, do something with it. Get it out. Crypto's an answer. I mean, it's one answer. Silver at $18.50 is another answer. I mean, there's things that you can do, because the thing is with crypto, real crypto like Litecoin, silver, gold, the thing with that is it doesn't owe anybody anything. You know, it's not tied to a debt. It's not tied to an obligation to somebody. Once you have it in your possession, you have it in your possession. And that's it. It's money on its own. And I think if more people understood that it's money unto itself, not some debt obligation like the Federal Reserve note, then, I mean, once you internalize that and once you get your head around that, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know, I got to put, you know, that's what I got to be in, you know, everything. So, I mean, now's the time. If you're not into crypto, start looking into crypto and be able to take possession of it, because you can. Other things you can't.
AJ Greer is in the chat, so I have to show something real quick.
Okay, cool.
So here is the picture that he drew for. Actually, I don't know if I can move it all the way off there. This is my grandfather painted that of my grandmother, and then he drew this picture.
Roofers are furious about this. Sorry.
Are we back? Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show AJ where I keep that picture for.
I'm looking at that.
That's the original that I had framed, and That's the picture that was a gift from Bix and Amy from AJ.
Lovely. Lovely.
I'm sorry, you had a wonderful rant, but I got really excited.
No, not at all. I mean, that's what it is. You know, you
It's
think
so
that's the idea of my ranting. It's to, you know, help something click in somebody else's head that can, you know.
Yes.
Not me.
And AJ, I need to hit you up about, he was going to do some signed and numbered prints for me, and that we could maybe auction a couple of them off at the event or over time. I might just do like 1 or 2 at this event and then do some overtime for the Team Mighty event for charity. So
Which is August 6th.
Hit you up about those.
8/6.
Yes.
2022.
I don't know how I would do. So I have the original. I don't know how we would do that, but I'll.
So where are we at? I'm curious. I'm shifting gears a little bit. Where are we at in the crypto market? We saw kind of a bottom. We got people still calling for $36 Litecoin. What do you think, Lisa? Are we going to take that big dip?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so, because I sold.
You got to nibble. You got to nibble into it. Ladder into it.
Yeah, I sold. You know, we sold the car, and so, I had talked to Uncle Cliff, and I was like, you know, I was hoping he would give me some wisdom,
validation.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, please. And then I had a reading with my friend, and my dad came in, and he said, which I was going to share that some of that with my Patreon or on my Patreon channel. There's some of it that's real personal, like with stuff with my kids and stuff. So I probably would cut some of it out, but there's really cool stuff that my dad said. I have to go back and find the notebook that I wrote it on. I like scratch and make notes on everything while I'm.
What's the price? What's the price, Lisa?
I didn't have a price. I didn't ask my dad a price or anything, but I asked, but he had information for me and told me like what he actually brought up the fact that I had a question. She goes, so you have this question about property, but it's not land. And I was like, and I literally,
I'm right with you.
I had the dollar amount that I had waiting from selling the car to buy into crypto, sitting there with a question mark on it because I had written questions to ask her. And so I was like, oh, that's the property that's not land that I have a question about. And
virtual property.
I'll cut some pieces out of that and put it on Patreon.
Go check out Lisa's Patreon. All the inside scoop.
Oh, and tonight at 7, which is in about 7 Central, about an hour and a half, Sean and I, a little less than that actually, Sean and I will have a live Zoom call DeFi class, which I've got to go move some money into that wallet because I don't keep any money on this computer because it's like online.
A lot of little DeFi action. I mean, you know, there's even with everything, the kind of clean out that we've had with crypto, you know, you can still get into the DeFi, the decentralized finance, and earn interest, you know, in those coins in this new system. So that'll be a good video. That'll be a good lesson. Figure out how to do that stuff. Because you can't put it in a bank and get any interest. That's for sure. I mean, I don't even know what you could get it at.
So in DeFi, you hold the keys still. So you're not putting it in a bank. You're not putting it in even like Celsius or.
Right. It's not a custodian.
You're not putting it in.
You transfer the coins to.
Possession. You're holding it in your wallet, but you have the keys, but you're lending. You're holding it in your possession or in your wallet, but you're saying, hey, I'll put it in this pool, but I'm gonna stand in this pool with you. Kind of
right through like a smart contract where it's like, okay, these are the rules predefined. I'm going to put this in here. You're going to make interest on it. I'm going to make interest on it, and I'm the only one who can take it out. So it's not like somebody else has custody and control over it. So, you know, Like anything, though, I mean, just caveats with a smart contract. If it's not written correctly, if there's an issue with it, I mean, that can be the issue.
Yeah.
But it's not an issue of a person actually a bad actor. You know what I mean? It's not some guy that says, hey, I got all these coins. I'm going to go out and leverage them out and get loans on them. And the next thing you know, they're not going to pay me back. So I got to file bankruptcy. And then your coins are locked up. It's not like that.
And SL talked to me. She called me the other day and we just talked on the phone. And she was saying they're still, I can't remember the dates, but it was something like there's a little pump right now, I guess. But she said she was anticipating, and don't hold her to this because I'm not remember exactly what she was saying, but like I wanted to say there's a little pump right now, but she was saying then like somewhere around October or something, it was going to go down again. But it was like all markets maybe were crashing like around that time and through the end of the year. But then maybe in like March or around the spring, things would kind of pick up. I think is what
and you know what, that could happen. And I guess the thing is, where are we prior to that point? Because let's just take Bitcoin for instance. You're at like 23,000 right now. Went to 17,000, so we had a pretty major pullback. It could go up to, let's say, 40,000, and then you have an October surprise, and it drops down to 30. So the numbers are the issue. It's like, where are we gonna be? How high does it get before then? So yeah, it might be a major pullback, but I mean, do we run up before then? And build sideways and upward up to that point? So it's kind of you got to trust yourself on a lot of this stuff, to where, I mean, where do you want to be positioned? Where do you want to be as the world's falling apart and the economies are falling apart? I mean, have we hit the absolute bottom? I don't know. I tend to think maybe we have, but that doesn't mean that, if you got in, now last week, that, you ride that up and it comes down. You know what I mean? It's just the numbers are the issue. Where is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is that I feel good holding Litecoin in my own possession. That's just how I look at things. And if I can get it on a dip, I'm happy.
Yeah. And I will do another video with SL. She's going on vacation for a little while. And then when she's back, we'll probably do something with her. But
very nice. Yeah, it'd be good to have another video. You haven't had one in a while. It'd be nice to see that again.
Yeah, I really like her. She's great.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I've left you on here long enough, you guys. But please go check out the links in the video. Go to my website, check out the events page, and make sure you get your tickets to come to Oklahoma City, and make sure you get your Road to Ruta tickets as well. Try to get to Kansas City, try to get to St. Louis, get to Oklahoma City, come to the Midwest. It's a great place to be. Good people here, and
hit that thumbs up.
All for joining us in the chat. We really appreciate you. Yes, please hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe if you're not already, hit the notification bell. It sometimes works. Occasionally, I've heard.
Occasionally it works. I mean, I don't know.
Usually. Leave a comment if you're watching this later. I've been trying to go back through and read comments and check in with people and tell them thank you and answer those questions. You can always go to my website, litecoinlisa.net, and go to my contact page and send me a message there as well. So I would love to hear from you. And you guys go to clintwestwood.net. You can get all the details. He's got tons of resources, got a whole page of links and resources as well. Good information there. So we will see you guys next time.
All right. Trust yourselves.